All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're stepping onto the court to settle one of the oldest and most elegant debates in tennis, the one-handed backhand versus the two-handed backhand. You know the question, right? It's the one every fan loves to argue about, and every player has to decide for themselves. Do you go with the classic, flowing artistry of the one-hander, or the compact, brutal power of the two-hander? Okay, so let's really dive in here. This isn't just about what looks cooler. The choice between one or two hands on the racket is a huge deal. It has massive consequences for your game, from biomechanics to on-court strategy. And here's the thing, this is what all the science points to. There's no single best stroke. It's just not that simple. Instead, what we really have is a fascinating series of scientific trade-offs. Each style gives you something amazing, but it also asks for something in return. So to really understand these trade-offs, we've got to start from the ground up, literally. Power in a tennis shot doesn't just magically appear in your arm. It's a full-body event that starts the second your feet dig into the court. The scientific idea behind this is called the kinetic chain. Just imagine your body is, well, a chain, with all your body parts linked together. Force starts in your legs, it gets transferred up through your hips and your core, then into your shoulder and arm, and finally, bam, it gets unleashed right through the racket. And this right here is where the two strokes take completely different paths. The one-hander uses what's called an open kinetic chain. Think of it just like a whip, where energy snaps from one body part to the next in sequence. The two-hander, though, that's a closed chain. It's less like a whip and much more like a powerful lever, where your hips and your trunk explode together at the same time. So the secret sauce for the two-handed backhand is that explosive all-at-once rotation. The player loads up from the ground, and then, wham, the hips and torso fire as one single powerful unit. That massive rotational force is what creates the shot's famous stability and power. Okay, so we've got these two totally different engines. How do they actually stack up when it matters, on the court? Let's break down the data, tail of the tape style. First up, pure, raw speed. That whip-like motion of the one-hander, with the longer lever from the arm, allows for a higher maximum racket head speed. It's just simple physics, really. The tip of the whip is always the part that moves the fastest. But, speed isn't the whole story. When researchers measure accuracy and success rates, especially on really tough shots like returning a big serve, the two-hander consistently wins out. That second hand on the racket just provides a super stable base, giving you way more control and reliability when the pressure is on. The one-hander, though, has an undeniable ace up its sleeve: reach. The ability to just extend that single arm gives a player a huge advantage in court coverage. It lets them play balls that are simply out of the question for a two-handed player. And this is where you really see the strategic differences come to life. The one-hander is just more versatile. It's better at handling those awkward high balls or knifing a low slice. The two-hander, by contrast, absolutely owns its strike zone. Anything from waist to shoulder height, it's just hitting that with unmatched power and stability. But performance is only half the story. Hitting thousands and thousands of these shots takes a real physical toll, and critically, the two strokes stress the body in completely different places. For the one-hander, all that whip-like force has to be slowed down by the smaller joints. That puts a ton of stress right on the wrist and the elbow. Yep, that's where tennis elbow comes from. For the two-hander, all that massive rotational torque puts the strain on the bigger muscle groups, the trunk, the hips, and the shoulders. And the biomechanical studies are crystal clear on this. They find that the two-hander is defined by its incredible trunk rotation speed. The one-hander, on the other hand, is defined by the heavy braking force. They call it eccentric loading, that the forearm and wrist have to absorb to control the racket after impact. Okay. We've looked at the engines, the performance data, and the physical costs. It's time to put all this information together and figure out how you choose your weapon. So here it is, the ultimate cheat sheet that lays out all the trade-offs. You've got the one-hander. Its power comes from that whip-like arm speed, which gives it amazing reach and versatility. It's perfect for creative, all-court players, but the injury risk is in the elbow and wrist. On the other side, the two-hander gets its stability and accuracy from that massive core torque. It's a weapon for aggressive baseliners who live to crush returns, but the stress is on the core and shoulders. So in the end, there really is no single best backhand. The right choice is completely situational. It all depends on your body type, your strategy, and, of course, your personal style. The best backhand is simply the one that works best for you. And that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question. In today's game, with players getting so much stronger and the pace of the ball getting so much faster, that stability from the two-hander seems more valuable than ever. So we have to ask, is the beautiful, classic one-handed backhand becoming an endangered species? I guess that's a question for the next generation to answer.